Baby, 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 baby. You driving me wild, you driving me so crazy. Got me acting out, got me trying to stay sober. Wanted your love and I'm out here hungover. You made me wanna take you to London, Paris. Times were cherished. No comparing to you.
Conversation with boy, on here I let the truth be told. This platform is all about elevation, to lift you up where you level up completely mentally, change your mindset and give you a different perspective, not the reality that society is trying to enforce, but for you to be an exception. You are rejecting the reality that society is enforcing onto you. So on to this conversation, I'm going to be talking about a video that I saw. This is one of the topics that just need to be addressed. So I'm going to insert this video, and when you watch this video, I'm going to then give you my insight on the video. So I'm going to let you watch the video, and then you're going to hear my opinion. We're going to have a conversation on this topic.
Some betrayals that I've experienced, like in my adult life, that were some of the deepest, like that just hurt me, came from church folks.
I don't know why it's like that.
And I think it's really because, the church is a place where
full of broken people.
It's full of broken people. Spiritual hospital for broken people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so the problem now is you believe like, okay, if we're all seeking Jesus, right? Shouldn't this be the place we have the most grace for one another?
Most grace.
Right. Shouldn't this be the place where we care, the love? But you have, and there is nothing that hurts than a broken person trying to wound you while trying to put Jesus on it.
It's terrible.
So it's like, I'm doing this in the name of Jesus.
Right. The first sentence, the betrayals, the hurts, the deepest heartbreaks or deepest pain that she have ever experienced came from church folks. First, I'm going to just give a disclaimer. I don't know her. She don't know me. I'm just giving you my insight on it. My position is to be positive and give you my honest opinion on this topic. This is not directed at anyone in particular. This is only my opinion. So feel free to reach out to me or comment down below if you have an opposite opinion than what I'm trying to say. So the hurts, the betrayals, her deepest pain came from church folks. I want to say is that first and foremost, when you attend an institution, when you go to a church, the wrong thing to do is to put anyone on a platform that they do not deserve and you yourself do not deserve, because you are only setting yourself up for disappointments. But no, when you go to church, you have to socialize and you dare to hear the words of God to be preached to you, to understand, for you to get a more profound understanding of the gospel. Expand your mind by learning on your own. You don't just learn only when you go to church. Come home and do your work. You read, you know the words on your own. You study, you build that personal relationship. So when you are going to church, it's like you referencing the Bible. The worst thing to do is to put anyone on a pedestal. On a pedestal, you are setting yourself up for disappointments. You don't deserve it, they don't deserve it. Yes, I understand based on the status, based on the position, you give respect. Giving respect is different than placing them on a pedestal. You can show them respect, you can give respect, but do not place them on a pedestal where they are perfect, they are so holy, they are supposed to do this and that and the third. Because, all honesty, they are human beings just like you. They are human beings just like you. And if you are reading the words of God, you then understand there's no perfect person on this earth. Only Jesus Christ. So no matter what they portray in the outside, no matter how they portray their image, Do not place them on a pedestal. Treat them like a human being. Show them respect, but also understand that they are human beings. They have their own personality. They have their own minds. They have their own things they do, publicly and privately. So you have to always keep that in your mind. Always keep that in your mind. So when you are dealing with individuals, you are dealing with them. You don't characterize them as a whole. You don't characterize them as a whole. And then you condemn. You don't do so. You don't do that. So whatever institution that you attend, do not place anyone on a pedestal. You are disappointing yourself. You are only disappointing yourself because we are all human beings. We are human beings. We in this flesh. And we all have our own personality. We all have our own minds. We all have our own lives. It's like we all do things. We all do things. So I'm going to address the hurts, betrayals, and heartbreak. The deepest one that she have expressed came from church folks. Okay. We need to understand that everyone we see in church are not there for the same purpose that we are there. So your goal when you go to church, yes, socialize and interact with one another, but keep your distance. By keep your distance, what I mean by keep your distance, everyone shouldn't be allowed in your personal space. So in order for someone to hurt you, in order for someone to betray you, in order for you to feel pain, you allow them to give you that emotions because you have given them access to you. You have given them access. You have given them access to your information, your private life. You have given them access to hurt you. Because once your inside is secure, outside threats is not a factor. So you have to be mindful of who you bring in your personal space, regardless of the image that they portray. Regardless, be careful of who you bring into your personal space. Everyone is not there for the same reasons. Everyone is not there for the same reasons. No matter what they say, no matter how they act, no matter what they do, no matter their status, no matter who they are. Your purpose of being there, it may not be their purpose of being there. When those hurts and pains and betrayals happen to you, you need to understand you are a Christian if you know the gospel because it clearly states that you forgive, you move on. The Bible said forgive 70 times 7. Cliche to go on with the belief that everyone in church gonna just be so loving, so peaceful, so calm, so this, so that. That is so cliche. It is not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. And once you understand that and you know why you are there and who you are there for, you have a whole different perspective. Your whole concept is going to be renewed. You don't want anyone to be smiling in your face. People are going to just be happy and loving and caring. Everyone's personality is different. Everyone's personality is different. So the main point I want to get across is that when you attend an institution, when you attend church and you go to church, your interaction with those individuals who are in church should not weaken your faith. Because everyone is not there for the same purpose as you. Everyone is not there regardless of what they say, regardless of how they act, regardless of their status, their position, regardless of all those external factors that we see with our physical eyes. They are human beings. Don't place anyone on a pedestal. They have their own personality. They have their own life, publicly and privately. So your main mission is to go and learn the words of God. to know the gospel, fellowship, socialize, and move on with your life and live that is rewarding, live a life. And when you're interacting with people, you have to make sure those people who you allow in your circle, in your personal space, you have to truly, truly do your research. Nothing wrong with being friendly. I'm the friendliest person you will ever meet. Nothing wrong being friendly, but it ends there. There are certain people you're friendly with, and that relationship it starts in church and it ends in church. And that's just how it is. Everyone is not deserving to be in your personal space just because they are in church. Just because they are in church and you attend the same church. No. We all have different purpose. You're not going for anyone else because human beings fluctuate. They love you today and they will hate you tomorrow. You can depend on them. So you are not going to church for any human being. You're going to know Christ. You're going to know the gospel. You're going to hear the gospel because by hearing it grows your faith. Show them respect, show them love, find something to do, be productive, be proactive, and be committed. Regardless of the seasons, it's going to be seasons. There are going to be seasons. It's not going to be sunshine. It's not going to be all sunshine. You're going to go through seasons. And those are normal. I don't understand why people feel like it's not normal. Like you want to go to a church where that's not normal. Whatever differences you have with another member that you attend church with should not dictate your position. Or you shouldn't use their differences to refrain from going to church. And then you characterize and condemn. You only had their differences with that one person. You only had it with that one person. And to say in the more worldly way as possible and not to get spiritual, it's difficult if you can't tell. It's real difficult. Because I want to make the point as crystal clear as possible, not throw you off. And not throw you off. That should not be the reason to make you to turn away or to make you to reevaluate everything else. Because that one particular individual, everyone have their own mission. I noticed that you can truly never know who people are, but the Bible encourages us to pray for discernment. Pray for discernment, and it will save you a lot. That you'll be able to discern and know who is who. Because everyone who go to church is not going for the same reason you're going. What is your reason for going? Is it for people to love on you, to show you love? Because human fluctuate. They love you today, hate you tomorrow. Even your own real friends, there will be differences. That doesn't mean the love is not there. You're just having your moment. You're going through your season. Put church folks on this pedestal and have this image in your mind that they're supposed to be so perfect, so holy, and can't make mistakes. You are setting yourself up for failure. You're only disappointing yourself. So no one is perfect. The only one perfect person is Jesus Christ. No one is perfect. Once you know who you are with, and you identify those individuals who go faithfully and their only mission is to find those and to turn them away and to weaken their faith and to discourage them. Once you identify them, they're not going to touch you mentally. They're not going to touch you mentally. Once you put in the work, know the gospel on your own, build your faith up, and you come to church. I disagree. Church folks, and church is full of broken people. No, it's not full of broken people. It is not full of broken people. It's society's way of projecting that message onto you to make you to believe it and to stay away. And it's not true. Church is not full of broken people. And it is a place where you will be grounded. You'll be strong mentally. The church folks term is so worldly. It's so worldly that I don't even have another way to identify it. But all it's doing is just making you to turn your back away, making you to characterize, and making you to form a conclusion, on things that are not factual. They're not factual. Yes, you're going to have your differences with those church members, but wherever you are in any organization, whoever you're dealing with, there are going to be differences. Everyone have their own personality. You're going to deal with differences. How you handle that differences is what needs to be structured, and how you maintain and manage the relationship. That's how you grow maturity. That's how you grow maturity. No one is there to hurt you. No one is there to reject you. No one is there to condemn you. No. And those individuals who are doing those things, once you pray for discernment, you'll truly understand their mission, the reason why they're doing it. It will be crystal clear to you. And then you'll be able to identify them quickly. And that's how you'll build up yourself. You'll build up yourself spiritually. You'll build up yourself and stand on the words of God. Use it.